Hey guys, how you doing? This is Bobby Davis at the tech capital of the world, soon to be Hurricane Central. So that's coming in tonight. I want to welcome Kevin Doyle to the show. Hey Kevin, how you doing?
I'm good. Yeah.
You boarded up your windows yet? Have you done anything?
No, we're far enough away. We'll be good. We'll be fine. Yeah, we get this a lot though.
We do.
You know, we get one a year at least that comes a little bit into us, so it's okay. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. It's fine. Hey, so one big thing to talk about today. We should be in 1080, not 720 today.
Oh yeah, we're coming at you in 1080 in high def.
Yeah. So if I look different today, it's because it's more HD than I was before.
More pores.
So exactly. They're like, wow, these guys are old. Man, look, I did not know that. They were only in 720 before. They looked like younger in 720.
I love it. Like one guy last week wanted to know that I should fire my makeup guy.
It's a makeup girl, so come on. I mean,
exactly. I don't have any makeup people. It'd be kind of cool.
We have talked about that before in the past. It was funny when we first started this. We're like, should we do makeup for this thing? Like when we first started with the show, we're like, nah, we'll wing it.
You can't fix this. This is perfection, man. You can't fix that.
But I'm sure a lot of people do. I mean, TV anchors do all the time, just like, make yourself look mad. Because you get the shine sometimes off the lights and stuff.
I do.
When we're talking about makeup. Yeah, when we're talking about makeup, we're not talking about full on like, Oh, this is one thing actually. When we first started this too, makeup tutorials were massive online, and I suggested that we do one. Bobby wasn't up for it.
No, I'm doing that, man.
I was like, but the subscribership we're gonna get, like, imagine makeup for coders. I'm like, this could be a niche we haven't like looked at yet.
I know, wearing it to work.
Yeah. It still could be. I'm not saying we're not doing it.
Make sure you look good for that stand up that you're doing in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. See the wrinkles now. Yeah. See, you thought we were in our 20s, didn't you? That's what it was.
So
that's funny.
All right, that's kind of cool.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I'll do it in a second here. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go through and see who we have here.
Yeah.
So Binu, he was the first comment here, and he published this right after I pushed this thing out. He wanted a portfolio review. I don't see it on. I was going to do it right here, right now. If you'd have sent it to me, and if you still do, I'll take a look at it right now on this show. I'll check it again in a little bit. But if I sent you a thing, send it to info@codefounder.com, and I'll take a look at it. We have one we're going to look at in a little bit that somebody has sent to us. But you asked, so we'll take a look, and that's what we're talking about today. So, he said he sent it, so I don't see it though. Yeah, I'm looking in that thing. Maybe it went to.
It's got to be a link. It's got to be published, Binu. We can't look.
Yeah, it's got to be published. I really don't see it.
Okay.
Okay. Chris Lou's here. Hey, Chris Lou, thank you for joining us. Adam's here. Thank you for joining us, Adam. Adam is our moderator on here and Discord, and thank you for doing that, and we appreciate it. And yes, you've battened up your windows too. It's going to rain a little bit. It's going to be fine. Maverick's asking, he is asking if we're going to promote TikTok because Microsoft's going to require it. I don't think they actually will. I think that rumor's not true. I don't think
they're going to acquire it, man. I think
you
they
think?
Were already,
I don't think so.
No, I think they were already in discussions in acquiring it.
No, I think they were, but I don't think they are now. I don't think they're going to buy it, and then the government's going to be like, yeah, you can't have that. Yeah, it's a risky buy.
Well, I think they'll tell them ahead of time.
Maybe, maybe not.
No.
But that's what TikTok's going to say. They're going to be like, "Hey, this is the risk you take. We'll sell it to you for like 500 million." You know what I mean? It's worth $1 billion. We'll give it to you for like half price on the chance that you may lose. And I don't think Microsoft will take that bet.
Yeah,
just
well,
a guess.
I can't wait till they buy it and then rename it.
What will they rename it to? Something really terrible.
Yeah.
Some dude's going to be like, "Well, this is about posting short videos. This is now short video. That's what it's called." Because that's as creative as they get.
Microsoft Video.
Microsoft Video. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
What happened to 1, 2, and 3? It just had to be bigger than 1 because TikTok was 1. So
Oh, I like it.
4.
That's funny.
Or they'll fold it into LinkedIn Video or something like that.
Yeah. That's normally the way it goes, right? Estevan's here too. So thanks for that, Estevan. We're going to talk about that today. That's what we're going to talk
a little bit about that today. Yeah. So you guys can ask questions on our produced videos.
Yeah. So we're going to give a little bit of a demo and go into some of the things that we didn't go into before, just because we can. BK's back. Hey, BK. Thank you for coming back.
Hey, BK. You asked me a question on YouTube. Kevin is going to show you how to do that.
Okay.
Kevin's got a demo today. He's
bringing
the heat.
Oh, don't overpromise.
He's bringing the heat.
Under promise, over deliver. That's my. Okay. That's not.
It's gonna suck, really, PK.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. Ubaid is here. Hello, Ubaid. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Sumanarash here. All from Nepal. That's cool.
Nice.
From Kathmandu. That's awesome. Mehmet's back from Istanbul. Hey, Mehmet.
Right.
Good to see you again. SSMM31. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. I don't know if that's even pronounceable.
No.
Tube's back again. So thank you all for joining us. And hey, look, Antonio's back.
Antonio Rivera, Director of Education, watching us on the Twitch stream. We're taking over. 10 subs. 10.
Maybe we're up to 11 now. I don't know. I didn't check today. I didn't check today after the weekend. Maybe we had a big weekend and got 1 extra sub. I really don't know.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, let me just fix this real quick. Yeah, so there's a lot of people here. A couple more people here.
Hey, Fury, we'll definitely answer this question today.
Oh, yes. We'll definitely talk about that.
Misconception that I get from this video that we pushed out.
Yeah, which is a strange misconception. But we'll talk about that.
But I'm going to tell you what you should really do. So it's kind of good.
Yep. Yabani's here too. Hey, Yabani. Good morning. Didi's back. And Raphael's here too. Funnel views to Twitch. Yeah. So everybody go to Twitch and watch us there. That'd be great. At least go to subscribers there so we can get to 12 subscribers on Twitch.
Get to 12.
that would be
get my
great.
mom a Twitch account. That's what I got. She's off Facebook now.
She's off Facebook now?
No, we quit doing Facebook. So.
Oh yeah, we're off Facebook. Yeah.
After she came on the show, only when my brother showed up, we just had we switched.
That's it. Twitch. It's done. When your mom starts trolling you on Facebook, it's time to quit streaming on Facebook, right? So. I like it. That's funny. Let me see if. Oh, here we go. Benu's portfolio did come over, so let me just pull this up. I'm not going to put it on the stream yet. I'll take a quick look over it, and then we'll literally do it live without even looking at it before.
And we'll be nice.
I promise. It's good. It's a good portfolio.
Cool.
Okay, so we'll come back to that at the end. We'll come back to the portfolio review.
So the hurricane just came in, if you can hear me. So it just got really loud here.
Oh, did it? Oh, it takes a minute to get to me. I'm just a little further. What am I? I'm west of you, right? This is coming up. This is coming the other way, isn't it, too, actually? It's coming from the coast. Not a normal storm. Hasn't started raining here yet, but I'm sure it will. It got dark.
We won't lose the stream, so.
Yeah, if we lose the stream, sorry. Sorry, we do apologize. And Yubani, thank you very much. I like my guitar.
Thanks.
Okay. Cool. So we put out a video on Friday that we recorded, I think last Tuesday. I think we put it together.
Yeah.
So we wanted to put out another portfolio video where it was we've put out other stuff about portfolios. We never put out a complete, hey, here's everything you should have on one video. Right. So that's what we did.
Right. And so the point of the video was to show you the structure of the main portfolio site. And I think we've got some videos planned that's going to add more flavor to this, especially tomorrow's. I'll say that when it goes out tomorrow, we're talking about one of the projects that you can put in there. But what I want you to think about, this isn't like everything that's on it. I'm showing you the structure of how you lay it out. You know.
Yep.
So let me just go ahead and start.
Yeah. Let me pull it up.
All right, cool. So, and we're gonna go through some of your comments too about this. And
Oh yeah, some of the comments were great. There's a couple in
They're funny.
particular.
So
Yeah.
we laugh with you guys. We don't know if you're serious or not sometimes, but we try to take everything in stride. So I made up my mythical guy here, Adam Jones, and then we talked about making pictures, Kevin. And
Yep.
So I think one of the things that you can do is that we're a big fan of right now, as of 2020, candid shots are kind of way to roll instead of like a portfolio headshot.
It's trendy at the minute.
Trendy
Students
right
that have come to Coder Foundry in person in the past, I've always taken like headshots of them, right? Like almost like a straight on, just like business style headshot, partly for a portfolio, but also partly for LinkedIn. So I had to serve two purposes because most people don't have like a professional headshot, right? So we would take that as part of the service at Coder Foundry. Now we're remote. We don't get that option anymore. But we used to do that. But I would now try and steer away from that. I would now try and go for this more candid view, which is what you're seeing here. You're seeing two photos on this first thing. One where it's like used as the background banner, and Adam's just sat there, and he's at this in a cool like coffee shop environment, and he's sat there with his laptop. The fact that he's looking off camera is okay too. He could be looking at he could be looking at the camera too in this shot.
He could look at the camera.
Yeah, it's not the overarching like thing of this. It's just the fact that he's in a natural environment. That's the takeaway from this.
And so typically, natural environment photos, you're not really looking into the camera. It's not really, you're just being like photographed in the wild, you know. Like,
Yep.
So this is the rare C# program.
And we'll see a different version of the one over there on the left-hand side too, in the toolbar a little bit further down, like a bigger version of it. But again, that one, I would be okay if he was looking at the camera too. Again, it's not the fact that he's looking off camera that's the takeaway from it. It's just that he's more in a natural environment. There, he's like outside with his coat on. He's got a bag. It just works. And if it is, again, this is an opportunity to put you in your portfolio, even if you don't have to be a model or anything to do this stuff. It's you. People are going to see you anyway, ultimately. So it's like, there's no point hiding. Put a picture of yourself on there.
And then the other thing too, let's talk about equipment. This can be done with an iPhone or your camera phone. Any of the real good ones have a kind of either they fake motion blur in the back, or they fake depth of field, or it's real. You can tell me about the iPhone. Is it real or is it fake?
It's both.
It's both.
It's both. So you can turn on portrait mode, and it can be portrait mode is fake, but if you get close enough to a subject with an iPhone, you can get decent depth of field.
Right.
So the intention is to take to get the subject in focus and the background to be blurred. That's that like professional looking camera look. Right.
And the other thing too is you have to be careful. Like, this is a really blown out background, but somehow they lit this correctly, or they exposed it correctly.
Yes.
For it to work. So a DSLR may be the only way to get this shot. So you just have to pay attention to that. What you want here is, if you look around where my mouse is the separation between this
subject and background.
And this is blurred in the background. So you just have to expose it correctly using whatever's available to you, or you shoot it flat and then you bring it into Photoshop and kind of mess with it. But
you could do that
in general. Get a tripod or some kind of like support and just shoot this thing and get a picture out. So that's about it. And then just look to the side or look off in the distance like you're gonna rule the world. So I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So what's the first like element on this page then, other than the pictures? You've got a menu.
Another thing too that's real important is if you look at this. Let me get my mouse here. I lost my mouse.
It's on there. I see it.
Yeah. So like, it's just, you gotta basically tell them what you want, what you do, and how what you're about. So like, this is like, I'm a full stack developer. I'm a mobile developer. Words you should avoid is the word junior. I just don't think you put that on there. Let them classify you how they want. And then the other thing that I didn't put on here yet is a call to action. So like, which I call a CTA on the home screen. I think there should be a button right here. I just didn't add that, but that's one thing that you could add right away. And it says, contact me, let's work together. Let's do this. However you want to classify it, but there should be something down there
Right.
that allows you to do it. So, so let's look at a comment we got on this. That's kind of funny. The comment about the name we think it's funny. So
oh, yes, yes, you great comment about the name. Hold on, let me share my screen here.
Okay.
Here we go. So here we go. So Alex said, Adam Jones is Alex Jones one scroll away. And then Daniel said, I was just thinking he's kind of lucky not to be named Alex. And then that happened. So if you look back at it, let me pull yours back in here. You'll notice
click to the about.
When we go to the about section,
and I've got him named Alex Jones. And if you don't know who Alex Jones is, he's a
you're lucky. Don't look him up.
He's a conspiracy guy. So like,
he's a weird dude. This was not some hidden Alex Jones like we're fans thing or anything weird or like that.
I'm a fan. I'm an Alex Jones fanboy. Illuminati confirmed. So
that's funny. You are now officially a lizard person.
I'm a lizard guy now.
You used his name. That's it. He's probably going to sue us for name usage now because he's very litigation happy
right now. So we're just changing it right now. So I'm here in VS Code. I thought I would just change it.
Yeah, let's go fix it.
I like demos anyway, so I got to find it here. So about me, get to know me. Somewhere in here. There we go.
There we are. Let's give him his real name.
Adam Jones. Okay, so I can save that now. We can all rest easy now. So I'll just refresh this. There we go. Adam Jones. Cool, right? All right, so here in the about section, now that we have the right name on it, make sure you spell your name right when you're doing your portfolio.
This is true. No, we do talk about this too, though. Have somebody else read it over for typos. Yeah. When you're doing this stuff, anything creative like this, where you're doing something, you can be way too close to it. Getting somebody else to review your work
really happened is this is built from. I took this from a template, which I think is something we should bring out too. That we use a template to give us our starting point, and then we edited content. But sometimes when you have a template, you'll overlook some stuff that's already there, and like it might say, I am, Bobby Davis, and then you forgot to change one of the headers that says Adam Jones or Alex Jones or something like that. It's
right.
From a template, so you do have to proofread it.
Right. It's actually right. It's there again, by the way, right below the thing there.
Where's that?
It's right there too.
I can't let him go. I can't let him go.
Your voice is kind of quiet too, by the way, when you turn to the side. You have to be conscious of that.
All right. Look at this. It's everywhere. He's infecting my portfolio.
I think he probably came on at the when you were creating this and did it all himself.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
You can probably turn your volume up on your mic a little bit too, just overall. As I was saying, it's kind of quiet.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All right,
let's go on. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's so what's this about section about? What did you put in here?
What I see a lot of mistakes people make is they basically do not they talk about their personal things they do, like hiking and like I like to work out. And I think that's a mistake, and it's definitely a missed opportunity when you do that, because people don't care if you've climbed Mount Everest or not. It's kind of cool. You're on marathons in sub 2 hours. I mean, that's great, but like it doesn't tell you what you can do. And so this is your opportunity to tell them what value you're going to bring to the company.
Right.
So you need to tell them that you're a programmer, you're a software developer, and this is what I work on. This is my tool belt. This is what I use. And so that's what you should do, and write 4 or 5 sentences about yourself here. And I see so many portfolios where they just talk only about their personal interests, about me, who am I?
Right.
And it's not. This isn't the purpose of this portfolio. The purpose of the portfolio is to tell them that you're a software developer. What you do and what brand. So this is a sales tool and not your personal portfolio that just talks about you as a whole person and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I get it.
Right.
You want to be known as the whole person. I understand all that kind of thing, but like I want you to get a job and get a call back. So tell them how good you are at writing code and what you've been doing.
Okay.
So anyway, that's
you have a couple of buttons here too as well. Download resume and my work.
Yeah, so you can resume your CV depending on what part of the country you're in or the world. And then my work over here is definitely takes us to the portfolio section, which we're going to talk about.
Okay.
All right. So that's it. I typically right now, like most of these portfolio sites are all on one page and they scroll them. So SPAs. The reason that they're scrollable like this and not on different pages is that it's easy to navigate on mobile, and this is more than likely to be looked at on mobile.
Right.
And having said that, that means that this must be responsive. So when you always want to test your portfolio, looking at it on a mobile device, just to make sure that you've got it, that's all together. And finally, our one shot here, we also took some more photos of Adam Jones here. And so so again, separated background. It's a separated background.
Yep.
It's blurred, depth of field. I like them looking off camera so it doesn't look so headshotty, but this could be a headshot too. This definitely could be a headshot.
Yep.
And then on the side here, I cropped these a little bit differently. So I had a circle here, and that's the way this template worked. But these actually end up being two different photos. One was larger here, and this was smaller so that I could get the crop to work the way I wanted.
Okay.
But like in general, they could be the same photo or they could be different.
Right.
If you want to do it.
Right.
All right. So anyway, so that's kind of cool. All right, let's moving on. So the next thing is just skills, and these are the primary things that you use on your daily basis. These are the things you learned out of your boot camp. These are the things you learned in college. These are the things that you use to build your projects with. So these are the primary skills. If you're 20 years into this, man, don't make this like 52 and every logo and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Use the things right now that you want to be hired on.
I think that's the important thing that you said in the video too was, use the things that you want to get hired on right now. You can know more and you can list more. Like you have that little list above where it's like, oh, I know these things too. But here's the primary things that I'm trying to get a job in this case with a .NET stack. I want to do Xamarin. So that's what I'm targeting at. This is the highlights. Maybe it's highlights of skills. I guess that's what you're
right. So I'm not going to, for example, for me, I'm not going to list Delphi, Power Builder, VB6 and VB.NET because I don't want to do those things.
Right.
So there's no reason to highlight those. The last thing I want someone to call me for is for a Power Builder job. I'm just not going to do it.
Right.
And I don't want to do COBOL. I don't want to do those things. So I want to do the things that I'm interested in doing right now. And that's what these kind of 6 kind of things are.
Right. I like that.
Cool.
So you can list the other things. You have a little paragraph like up above, right? A couple of lines where you can list other things too. I think you have it just above this bit. If you just scroll up slightly where it listed other technologies. There you go. Like in the My Skills part. So you could list out other things in there as part of that paragraph and then just have your key skills listed below.
Yeah. And you
because it's still searchable by
a little bit longer. You can make the font a little bit bigger, but as long as you can read it on mobile, it's hard to see here on the screen here, but like in general, I think it works good.
Yep.
It could be 5 sentences here, a paragraph, 2 to 3 sentences, what you do.
Yep.
So
before we talk about the project section, Michael Judge here has a question. Can you do a video?
Production meetings?
I'm a little bit like, hold on a minute. He has an anonymous mask on. I'm like, did he hack us?
Yeah.
Michael,
we're working on that right now. We listed 5 and we're going to outline 5.
We literally have it. Like, hold on, look. I'm not going to show you the actual thing, but look, we actually have it like right here. I have 5 programming project ideas listed right here on my book. Like, literally, it's one of the next videos we're going to make, probably tomorrow.
So all of the videos upcoming are surrounding this portfolio. So like if you watch the video that we made on Friday, you had lots of questions and like you're asking about the projects, and I get that, but we're going to make a series of videos so that if you watch all 5 of these together, you'll see kind of where we're going on the portfolio.
Yep.
The other thing that I stopped here too that I want to say is that this is also my CTA. And this is what I call a call to action. You should have this halfway through the scroll or somewhere in the scroll so that someone will actually reach out to you. It's
a good design element too. It like breaks up the page a little bit. See, for this too, it doesn't have to look like this either. It could have been a bigger section. It could have been the different layout. Like there's a bunch of things you can do to this. This is where you can get a little bit more creative.
Yeah, and this could have been a background set of a solid color. It could be logoed. It could do anything.
Yep.
And because it's in the band, it can be separate from the other part.
Right.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. And so that's another point that I want to bring up too, is like, so you're looking at this right now and you're like, man, I don't like gray and white, and I don't like that. That's not my style. I don't want you to get hung up on the styling of this. I want you to worry about like the functionality and the features that are here.
Yeah.
And that's the things that you need to check the box off. Every Coder Founder student builds one of these, and none of them look like this.
Right.
They all look different.
Right.
You know, so like they do it however they want to do it. But they got to check off to pass. They got to check off the sections that are in it.
Because here's the thing too. Next year, this might not be a trend anymore. This, the way that it looks might not be trendy, but the content will still be applicable. So it's one of those things. And maybe in the future, your portfolio, you actually want to change the look of it too. Your content can stay the same, but maybe you want to put a different template on it or change the things around it a little bit. Maybe flat design isn't a thing in the future. Maybe it's all gradients or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. It does change a lot.
Definitely.
You know?
So if you're watching this in 2021, you might be like, wow, that looks super dated. It ain't me.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't
know. Yeah, it's kind of cool. All right, so let's move it on to the project section here. And so Michael Jug asked the question, can you do the 5 must-do projects, put them on your portfolio? We're going to give you 5 projects that we like. They're not the must-do ones, but what we're going to show you is the 3 projects that are built inside of Coder Founder in 12 weeks. And tomorrow, to give you a little hint, if you look at tomorrow, we're actually going to demo this one tomorrow, the Money Grow one, and show you a real student during an interview as he demoed his project during the interview process. So now we're going to show you what he built. We're going to show you how he's using it to get a job. And so we think tomorrow's video, if you watch that, will be a lot of eye-opener and like, you know, kind of what we expect here at the boot camp.
Definitely, yeah. Some of our students have recently demoed to employers, and this is basically one of those.
Yeah.
It's taken straight from that.
So what are projects? You may ask that. How are they different than coding challenges? And you notice in our hierarchy here, we have coding challenges below projects. So we want the most important thing in front of the not as impressive thing. So projects are full-blown, full-stack projects, typically with a, you know, basically solve a business problem, got a database, they have authorization, security. It's a full-blown application, and coding challenges are not that. Now, what we do is we're going to put a video about this of how we've made these even better to kind of compete with projects to make them impressive to look at. But in general, these projects are done. Now, so what we're doing right now today is we're using hover buttons. You can use whatever you want, man. You know, like it doesn't really matter. And when I click this, it comes out, it pops out into a modal. And then I give what I built it with and a little bit about the features of the app. So what you're trying to do is get someone to like demo the app. And then right here, they can view the project. We also have screenshots here. You know, so this is screenshots of a portfolio of a bug tracker.
That was cool. I think another good suggestion that we talked about doing here at some point too was having a walkthrough video here as well. Mm-hmm. You could do that as well. That would be kind of interesting.
And there's lots of software that helps you create those without having to edit in Premiere.
Yeah, something like Camtasia, or there's a bunch of like versions of things like that. But Camtasia is like the creme de la creme of those screen recording apps. And
so if you click here, this would take you to the full-blown project. Now, today, we're not going to do that because we just want to focus on the portfolio. Tomorrow, we're going to actually show you a walkthrough of one of these projects. So here's the bug tracker, here's the financial portal, and here's the blog. And we think the blog is also strategic, and that we think you should build one. I follow Scott Hanselman on Microsoft, and he had a tweet the other day that just really stuck with me. He said, why would you put all your content on Medium when you put it behind a paywall? And so like, let's say you're trying to get a job and you write this fantastic article about C# and NBC, and then the hiring manager, oh, I'd like to read that. And then they have to pay to get to it. It really hurts you. So like, that's why you host and write your own blog so that you can not put your content behind a paywall. So, you know, now what I would say the strategy is like, yay, but Medium gives me reach. It does. So you can write a synopsis of the article and link to the article from Medium. Same thing on LinkedIn. And then it takes them to your blog site where they can read the full-blown article, because then you have an opportunity to direct them to this portfolio site. We'll talk about SEO in a second. So cool. So
Yeah.
let's go through some of the questions at this point. So BK asked us a question. I know he's watching. So he asked us a particular question on the YouTube video. I thought we had addressed that and let you do your demo.
What did he say on the video? I don't remember seeing it on the video.
Yeah. So he was asking about if I would go through UI elements.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see it. Okay. Hold on. He said, let me share it here. Here we go. There plans to do video tips on branding your projects and or UI tips. So yeah, so we'll talk about branding the projects part.
Yeah.
Let me quit that. So yeah, so we talked over this originally, and we're like, well, we sort of had an idea for a few of these things. You're like, well, let's like pull them all together so we have like one cohesive brand. We've all branded these various times across the times that we've done these. Like, let's pull them together as a cohesive thing. So we decided on we sat down and we were like, okay, let's do. I think we came with the names and we came up with the ideas for the brand, and we're like, okay, we found one icon that we liked. So I started out with to create. We'll do the insecticide one. So I'm going to show you how to create it. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. This is the exact same process that I went through when we talked about this. So let me share first place that I started at. This is exactly the first thing that I did. I went out and I found this on Shutterstock. It looks familiar. And I was like, I could have drawn this in Illustrator, but what's the point?
No.
It's already been done. I'm like, I will leverage work that's already been done. Now, the pencil, I did have to work a lot more to match the other ones. Right. But I did have to draw most of the pencil stuff just to get the same lines and stuff. But for this one, I was like, okay, I downloaded this. And I was like, that's our starting point. That's where we're going to start. So it is a vector image. So I pulled it into Illustrator. This is what it looks like when I open it up in Illustrator. But I decided I could have worked on it in here in Illustrator, but I'm a Photoshop guy. I just prefer Photoshop.
I'm the same way. I copied it to Photoshop.
Yeah, and it's like I knew we wouldn't have to resize this too, by the way. I knew we weren't putting this on a billboard or something crazy, or we were never going to have to resize this. Hence the difference between vector and bitmap, right? So Photoshop being bitmap, much more difficult to blow up and make bigger, but vectors you can make as big as you like. So I could take this thing, and if I wanted to, I could blow it up and put it on a billboard, right? But I knew we weren't doing that. So I'm going to do it in Photoshop. So what I did here was just grab the assets that I need. So I would take the entire thing. I would just select, oh, by the way, if I wanted to change some aspect of it, I would change this here too versus in Photoshop. So let's say that I wanted to make this orange. I would make that orange like that in here versus taking it over there first and coloring it. So I would grab it. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to switch over to
Coder Foundry insecticide.
So we have a Coder Foundry version of insecticide, yeah. So let me share Photoshop. So I started a blank Photoshop. I think this is the size that we actually used, I think. And that's like 10 inches, I think. Maybe. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. So here's what I would do. First thing I'm going to do before I paste that bug in, I'm going to do my background first. Pretty simple to do. I'm just going to, so color-wise too, by the way, I chose a color scheme. So in Photoshop, you have these color palettes. So I didn't like come up with these colors either. I used an existing color palette. I literally just pulled one. I can't remember where I got it from, Adobe Color somewhere. And I was like, oh, okay, I like this color scheme. So these are the ones that I used up here. So let's do let's start out with a yellow one, see if that works. So I'm going to choose this color and I'm just going to fill the background in. Oops, I'm going to select it and fill the background in yellow. And then I'm going to paste my bug in. And I'm going to paste it in. Oh, and you can't see the pop-up, but I'm going to paste it in as a smart object. So there we go. So there's my bug. I'm going to resize it a little bit. Maybe make it a little bigger than that. I'm going to sit it in the middle of the thing there. And boom. That's that. Pretty straightforward. I immediately don't like the background, so I'm going to change the background. I'm going to change it to blue. Change that. I'm going to change it to blue. This is going to look better with the orange.
And the other thing that you can do too is like you can use things like Adobe Color or color wheels to take that primary orange and put it in a color wheel, and then it'll give you a really good contrast color that you can use. Yep.
Yeah. I knew that we were going to use sort of a similar color palette to this, like these flat colors. So it was like, and I just played around with which ones look better on which. It was just, it was pretty simple to do. And then basically, to get the second part, I just added, we branded this, right? So I added the name.
Made a name
for this thing. Yeah, so I made a name. So we'll use, let's make it black for now. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Insecticide.
CID, I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, so for this font, like font choice, I have a go-to like bold font choice. I love Bebus. So this is Bebus newer, which is now built in. Adobe actually has this font now. They didn't used to, but they do now. I think about make it about 120, maybe something like that. Yeah, somewhere around there. So I also liked. I did the thing I changed too, which actually came through as default. I changed the spacing here a little bit on this, the space between the letters on this in a simple little thing, because it looked way better like that, spaced out. Yeah. It's just a visual, just a choice.
And that just comes from choice and like looking at it and seeing what you like.
Yeah.
But exactly. I would say this, even if you use the font straight out the box, no one's gonna take you down on your resume, on your portfolio choice. Right. And what I also say too is like you can mess with this for hours. And if you're a designer like like Kevin, you want it to look good. And a lot of times we went back and forth on these a lot of times, and we ended up with like, I want a 2-pixel kind of heavy stroke element.
Right.
That's what I wanted. But at the end of the day, just make it attractive and then you'll be okay.
Yep.
So talk more about font here. How did you
exactly? So for this one, I wanted a similar font, but I knew I wanted those the book version, which is like a thinner version of the font.
Yeah.
So I chose, it's the exact same font, but I just chose a smaller version of it, and then I just would shrink it down somewhere around there. And again, it's just by eye. I'm not going off any particular thing here. And I'm just like, okay, that's, yeah, somewhere around there is kind of good. And then centered it. And then I would play with like, oops, don't want to do that. I'm going to lock that layer so I don't move it. I would play with this like a little bit, maybe just resize it. I was like, oh, that's a little too large. That's okay. Make sure that it's in the middle. And then maybe just play around with it a little bit. I played around with the colors a little bit too. Obviously, I kind of like this when it was, although we didn't end up going with this, I like this when it was like a white color. You guys can't see the color picker, but something like that's kind of cool.
Yeah. With
these colors too. And then maybe this is white too. Something like that is kind of cool. You can do a bunch of things with this. It's not, you know, and then again, for the next one, I just chose a different color in that same scheme and went something like that and then changed this icon out.
The key was we put them in the same scheme.
Yes.
And so that's why they look together. They look good together in a row. So if you go back to the stream here, these look good together because these palettes all kind of come from the same, or these backgrounds all come from the same palette.
Exactly. Yep.
So.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, and that was pretty much it. We found the first one and then pulled in the other one. And actually, I think I have. Do I have that here somewhere? If I do, I do. Like I have some of the graphics down here. So here's another one too. I used because I'd used this one before. We can pull this one in, and it was fairly simplistic to be able to change these and then do the next one. So it was something like that. Although I didn't do it this way, but and then change the branding out and change the colors on the background and. Yeah.
So it's pretty easy. So we think you should brand every one of them. And
definitely.
If you don't have Photoshop, you can use GIMP or something like that. Some kind of free photo editors. And then you can do this by downloading a starter image from Shutterstock or some kind of.
And I think that's the key too. I think people get hung up on like, man, I got to design that whole thing. You don't.
Right.
You don't. Just start out with something. Go find something somewhere. Repurpose it. You can, if you're okay with Illustrator, you can trace stuff. You can, you don't have to start with a blank piece of paper.
Right. So moving on here. So these are full-blown projects, C#. We think they should all be rebranded and then make them attractive logos, and brand everything out. Then the next thing is what we're calling coding challenges. We do the same thing here. We brand our coding challenges here at Coder Foundry. And I've done several videos on all of these. And I just picked some of them I've done. I actually have maybe 10 of these. I think inside Coder Foundry, you may do 5, maybe as many as 8, depending on how much time you have. But just to show you the difference between a coding challenge and a project is we go straight to this thing called the mini site. And the mini site is taking a coding challenge and then putting it on steroids. So like a lot of times you could take something like Loot Cave that we do, and Loot Cave that we did for our coding challenge contest. Loot Cave would be kind of simple. It's like 3 lines inside of a loop. And so it doesn't show anything, but you put a UI around it, you can make it more impressive. And so that's what we're trying to do here. So here we talk about what the challenge is, what I'm going to build, and then we have an app in here, and then now I have this full-blown app that I'm doing. Get on the right screen here, and you can see I've got stats. And this coding challenge was find the meme and the max out of a list of numbers in an array, and then I put a fictional kind of idea around it, and then I branded it. And that's how you can take something very simple and put some branding on it and then do it. What we're also doing here, Kevin, is we're building multiple sites for these, so that if you look at your SEO game, you have 3 projects from a Coder Foundry student, 5 mini sites. That's 8 links that are coming into this main portfolio site. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
definitely.
so like, so
there's more ways for people to find you.
Yeah, more ways for them to find you. So I think that's the key there. And so that's mini sites. We're actually going to break this down in a long form video about like all the things you can do in these mini sites, and then we're going to show you some of the stuff that's coming out of Coder Foundry, some of the students that are doing stuff, and that I think you'll find those very valuable as you're trying to build out your portfolio. So, okay, cool. Was there any other questions? Oh yeah, we have one more comment too. We can bring that up. The one negative comment we got.
Oh yeah, that's
because we covered all that now. So let's just go through some of the negative comments.
Let me share this, because we love talking about the negative stuff.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let me pull this tab up. Okay, so this is from a guy, Alex. I don't know if you hear Alex. That'd be cool.
Sorry, Alex.
No, he says it's 50% crap, basically.
Yeah.
Not the word he used, but
cow patties.
Yeah. This type of portfolio only works if you are a web developer or another type of designer. Yeah. Plus 1 or 2 extra skills. But it doesn't work at all if you're a hardcore programmer writing applications in C, or a data scientist, or an embedded software developer. The portfolio should look as simple as possible without any animations or a lot of clicks to go from section A to section D or to view project C. The project should be displayed as screenshots or videos directly with 2 links, one for a live demo and another for the Git repo if it exists.
Yeah.
Any employer will not spend more than 20 seconds looking at your portfolio, not even more at your CV. They will get tired easily if you come up with this complex portfolio.
Okay. That's a lot. I'm wondering what 50.
Alex is saying this isn't me. I like it. That's funny, Alex.
It wasn't me.
Like, that comment wasn't me.
All right. So yeah, Tech Rally is one of our friends. He's got a good channel.
So there is a lot in here to try and break down. Yeah.
So number one, it's only 50% bad, Kevin. I mean, so we got halfway there.
That means it's 50% good.
It's 50% good. So like, but here's I want to take this, because this is like, we've done a lot of these things, and we show projects that are well designed and excellent. We get this kind of comment all the time. A lot of people saying you're raising the bar too high. You shouldn't aspire to do this. You don't need to do that. Tic-tac-toe is good enough to get a job. And what happens is, I think Alex here is probably speaking what I would call from a position of experience, which is he has lots of experience, and his resume is going to carry the day.
Yeah,
which is
so probably
for a lot of people, that's okay, and that's all you have to do. Also, I do believe this, and I'm not pushing you down at all, but he's a hardcore programmer. I guess web isn't hardcore, but like I think too that building a website may be out of his skill set. And so he's looking at this and he's saying, hey, I can't do that, therefore I have to push it down. And so when you see these kind of comments, what I want you to understand about Coder Foundry, and me in particular, is we are trying to place people into jobs, and so we know why they don't get hired. We see it all the time.
Yep.
And if you build a portfolio that looks like crap, you won't get hired.
Also, there's a difference between, for me, looking like crap and being simple. Now, here's the problem. But here's the problem with simple. I think my best analogy for this is Picasso, right? Picasso could make a simple painting right? He could throw paint at a canvas and be like, there you go, there's my painting. If an amateur did the same thing, like, I don't know, that's just crap. He just threw paint at the thing. But Picasso's going to be like, oh, wow, that's like a Picasso painting. Like, because he's proved himself, and he proves that he can make the more complex thing. So simplistic isn't always, simple isn't easy. Simple is definitely not easy to pull off.
Yeah, but the other thing, too, that I think he underestimates is, I mean, this is a singular HTML file. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like, this is like aspiring work here. I mean,
well,
like,
I think what he's saying though is because it doesn't look simple,
no,
therefore nobody will spend the time looking at it. Right. But if it does look simple, somebody's just going to be like, well, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Because you haven't proved that you can do past the basic.
Right. And then, so like, I just downloaded this template and it had a bunch of stuff in it, you know, and I just used it as it is given to me. And so, but it's, the main thing that I changed wasn't hard to do. You can buy a template, modify it, and make it look cool. So let's go on to his other parts of his comment, because I think it's important that I think if you understand the buying decisions that people make and how and why you get these, what I call these are soft no's. You show them your portfolio, you never get a call back. And I see so many people on LinkedIn and Twitter saying, dude, I can't find my dev job. I got out of my boot camp. What's wrong? And I'll always say, send me your portfolio, and they have the same problems, you know. And so it's not well designed, it's not attractive, it's not well laid out, and it just doesn't work. And the second thing, I think it's a myth what he's saying here is that an employer won't spend 20 seconds looking at portfolio. Yeah, he will. If he's trying to hire someone, absolutely he's going to look at portfolios.
Right.
It's not like it's like you're saying that he's just going to pick some random dude off the street, hope they can code. No, he's going to look at a portfolio if you have one, and he's going to spend more than 20 seconds looking at it, especially if it's engaging, inviting. And so we're building stuff in this portfolio to get people to click on stuff.
Here's the thing, too.
So like, that's the thing. That's the strategy behind it.
Here's the thing about the portfolio that we're showing, too. It's not complex. It's not like you've got to play. I've seen some crazy developer portfolios where they've been like games. There've been a portfolio. I saw one that was a game. It was a portfolio was a game in disguise. It's like, yeah, I get it. That's complex. It may be distracting to somebody and they may not spend the time, but this isn't that. This is sectioned. It's pretty clear. Yeah. It's not, there's nothing hidden in it. It's clear and well designed. Whereas he's saying, no, go black and white, just like text only, use HTML. Don't even do CSS.
It should look like Craigslist. You know,
it should look like Craigslist. Yeah. That's what I read from his comment.
Yeah. So, but let's talk deeper into it. So the number one, you know, a lot of times I get accused of this, you know, web developers aren't hardcore programmers, which they are, but I'm going to let that one go. I'll be okay. You know, I'll get counseling. But like, if you're writing an application in C, let's say you're doing IoT, you're doing embedded programming, you're doing Windows development, okay? You're doing mobile development. How do you build a portfolio to show those? And so that does become a different way to do it. So like, you can't build a website for your projects. So you have to rely on a walkthrough video for your application. Yep. There's lots of people out there and services where you can send them videos and they'll send you back this templated thing that's really cool. I would, if I'm looking for a job and that's my thing, I would probably pay for some of those services, or I would just do screen capture, demo it myself and stick it on there, and then do photos of screenshots if they don't want to watch the whole video, and then explain what it does, you know? And that could be a console app, it could be a PowerShell app, it could be an embedded app, it could be something on your Raspberry Pi. If you can get an emulator to run inside a browser, that I think there's some stuff for mobile like that. It has various results. But in general, that's what you got to do. You create a video, screen capture, demo it, and then show screenshots on it and talk about it. So if you look at my, I add this to my stream. If you look at my portfolio section here, right here is probably where you would end up. Like you would have like your screenshots of your desktop app right in here, maybe something like this. And then over here, you'd talk about the project, and maybe you could right here, you'd take you to your Vimeo or your YouTube site that shows your demo. Yep. That would work great. Yeah. You know? Yep. So I guess that's the 50% that's bullcrap. I'm not really sure, but like,
maybe,
you know, I think you can make a compelling, portfolio of projects that aren't web-based.
Right.
And you should. And it's
Yep.
gonna. And so, like, here's the thing that people don't understand. Let's say that I'm 10 years into this, Kevin. I'm Bobby Davis. I got 20 years experience. I don't need to make a portfolio. I just trade on my resume.
Right.
Here's what you're not understanding. If you made a portfolio and you pushed it out there and it's SEO, and every time they look up your name, or they may come across your projects or whatever, you may get that out of band offer that you never thought would happen
for your dream company.
Exactly. And that's another reason why you do it. So you're tolling away at company ABC, and then suddenly Microsoft says, we got an embedded project over here. We're working on something. We'd like to know if you'd like to join the team.
Yep.
And that's an out of band request that you normally don't get because someone found your portfolio.
Right.
Or they found you on LinkedIn, which ran over to your portfolio. That's why you should do it. And that's even if you have lots of experience. Yes, you can just post your resume and get jobs all day long, but is it going to help you get that job?
Right.
The portfolio will help you do that. And that's why I think everyone should have one, regardless of your level of experience and expertise. I think we should all be into brand building. And I think more and more building your brand as a developer online can be lucrative for you. It can get you to places that you wouldn't normally get to. If Microsoft or Google or Facebook reaches out to you based on your portfolio, guess what you don't have to do? Interview.
Potentially.
But pretty much, you're going to have to do the interview, but it's more, do we like you? Do you fit in? Do you want to do this? Right. Can we make salary work? They've already decided to hire you, in other words.
Right.
You think you're a good candidate.
I think you're a good fit. Yep.
Yeah. And so, like, you get the benefit of the doubt during the entire interview process, And so, like, we had a guy that worked here, Hashim Warren, and Hashim may be watching, and he left to go to a company called Gatsby because he was tweeting about technology, and the president of Gatsby DM'd him and stole him from Coder Foundry.
So I love the word "stole him." Like,
he did steal him. So, like, but what I'm saying is, and I'm not bitter. I mean, like, I'm not at all. So, like,
that's funny.
I'm glad that he went on to do bigger things. How I believe.
Oh yeah.
But in general, what I'm saying is that brand building allowed him to get to a position where he couldn't even have thought about before. 100%. Yes, he could apply directly. He's got talented. He's got skills. He's got all those things. But that brand building allowed the company to reach into him, and that made that interview process that much easier. And I think that's why everyone should build a portfolio.
Yep.
So that you should have one built out.
Definitely. Yeah. Raphael says poached versus stealing. So
he stole.
It's a better word, I guess. It's funny. Let's finish up the last section, and then we'll get to B News portfolio too. We'll take a look at that.
Yeah. So I think it was, who was asking a question about this? Michael Judge. He says, if you guys could go in more detail about the blog. Also, I always thought of making one, but I'm always get scared of the criticism from other developers.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So you put it out there. Yeah, there's going to be some haters. That's for sure. But
reference last comment.
Yeah, exactly. Reference comment. Like 50% of this is bullcrap, Michael. That you'll get a lot of that. So there's a lot of people out there that just look down on everything you write or what you create. That shouldn't stop you from doing it. Number one. No. So, but have people name check, fact check, all those kind of things, your blog before you do post them. Make sure you're right, and post about things that you know about, not things that you don't know about. So what you can do, your blog should consist of, and here's how you get material, is if you look at this, you can look at my blog is on Fizz Buzz. Well, guess what? I also have a coding challenge on that. Let me get over here. So I have a coding challenge on Fizz Buzz. So now I'm blogging about the coding challenge that I did. I'm going to blog about different aspects in these projects, maybe something about the architecture like MVC, maybe something about writing link statements for SQL. You don't have to go into how I built it blog post, but like take out snippets of those, the things of what you're using and what you're doing. And then you could have easily 12 to 15 blog items based on those things, maybe as many as 20.
Yeah.
And each of those, you post synopsis to LinkedIn, you post a synopsis to Medium, create a Medium account, post them on there, and then link in the full article on your blog software so that now you have, 4 to 6 coding challenges, 3 main projects, 20 blog articles out on LinkedIn and other places that are all pointing back to this, and then they'll find you. Also tweet about each one you write. And then that's how you kind of build this SEO game around your portfolio. So
yeah, I love the bringing it all in together. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
definitely. And what's the last section on here then before we go to some questions and take a look at Binu's work?
Yeah, you got to have a contact form, baby. It's like they got to reach out to you. You got to come up, have a way for them to reach out to you. Make sure this works, by the way. So like a lot of
make
times,
sure it works.
You get them from a portfolio, and they don't really work out of the portfolio because you got to install something or whatever. So you just got to make sure that your script or whatever you're doing here works. Test it out.
Yep.
And then also, if you've got social links, you put them down here and how they can reach out to you. If you want to put your address, fine. If you don't want to, I get that too. You don't have to put a physical mailing address on here. You don't have to put your phone number if you don't want to. But definitely email and a contact form and any kind of links. And I think that's okay. I can understand if you've got a portfolio out there and you got your phone number out there.
Yep. Also, you can sign up for a Google number too. You could do that.
Yeah, you can do a Google number or something like that if you want to. So if you're putting out in the wild, and then that's kind of what you do.
Yep. Okay. Let's do some questions and then we'll take a look at Binu's thing before we wrap up here too, because we're coming up to the top of the hour.
Look at this question. I've been diving. Read this one.
Okay, I've been diving into ASP.NET recently, and I made a ticketing system thanks to your videos. ASP.NET is really fun. That's awesome, Brandon. Very, very cool.
Cool. Awesome.
That's awesome. Let's see here.
I like this one. I want to get
Okay, we'll do Maverick's one first here. He's working on a stock trading simulator app. That's cool. Is that something that can get me hired?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's kind of cool. It solves a business problem. People know kind of what that is. Hopefully your stock trading app made you money.
that would be cool. Yeah, well, that's another thing. If you can show like proof of concept, like, hey, and I actually used it and it worked, and it that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, maybe even if you did only invest in Amazon, I mean,
hey, doesn't matter.
Or Apple,
exactly. Yeah.
Up.
By that Microsoft stock, it's doing well right now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So
Sorry, go ahead. I'm just gonna go down the list here because there's quite a few, but
cool.
but there's not that many.
The Hingle though. So
I saw that one. Rick is asking, does Coder Foundry offer job placement service for someone who didn't go to Coder Foundry? It's disappointing what the boot campus had to offer in that regard. I'd pay, of course.
So we don't charge for placement services to Rick, and neither should you. So we get paid on fees, and so you can definitely reach out to partnerships at Coder Foundry, and if we have a position that's right for you, we can try to put you in there. But we do fee-based placements in a lot of cases. So
depending on your experience level,
I would work with any recruiter, Rick. You don't have to work with us, and a recruiter will help you get there. So most boot camps don't have a recruiting arm like we do. That's just what we do. It's one of the things. It's a tenet of the company that we go out there and we try to find people jobs. So that's what we do. But a recruiter can help you. We could help you. There's a lot of people that can help you. So,
yep. DD is correct. You got to be thick-skinned.
Yeah, man.
That's true. You're putting yourself out there. So yeah.
Yeah, we do it every day. So
exactly. Hingle McCringle, cool name. Does the stack used to build the portfolio site matter? For example, will a hiring manager look down on you if you use vanilla HTML and CSS versus Bootstrap or didn't use a JavaScript framework?
I don't think they will. And I get a lot of comments where one guy writes comments. I look at everyone to see if they use Bootstrap, and if they use Bootstrap, I don't hire them.
Right.
I saw a comment like that one time.
I remember that. I remember that.
I don't believe he is. So here's what I think, Hingle. And I think in general, people are visual buyers. And the first thing they're going to do is pull it up and look at it. If it looks good, they're going to move on to something more important. If you're interviewing for full stack jobs, they're just going to look at the HTML. They don't care what the HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap you did. And I don't know why there's hate for Bootstrap. It is an industry standard. It's everyone using it. It's a good thing to use. And then using a JavaScript framework, I mean, who doesn't use one? I mean, everyone does it, So that's the thing that I had a comment the other day on one of Tech Rally's videos they liked, and just giving you a shout out, Tech Rally. You can give me one back. But he was talking about Bootstrap on one of his videos, and I was watching it. Yeah. So, and I actually learned something with that about boot swatch, and like I'd done it before, but I never really investigated it a lot. But in general, someone was asking the same question, like, why? I look down upon if I using Bootstrap, and I'm like, so you would not use an HTML framework, but you would use 1,000 JavaScript frameworks to get your site built. Why would you do that? Like, so why wouldn't you use an HTML framework? Well, they all look the same. Well, they don't have to. You can change the colors. You can do all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I think using an HTML framework like Bootstrap is a good thing to do, and you should do.
And actually, it's funny. I commented on that same video because we're talking about Bootstrap Blue, right? When you see that blue button, you're like, oh man, Bootstrap Blue button. I've seen that a million times. Bootstrap 5 actually fixes some of this too, because we were talking about this the other day. They had way more colors, shades of blue, like make a different shade blue. But it's cool. They know that's like a thing, and they've added more colors to it, which I thought was interesting.
Right. And so what I would say is, and I'm seeing some comments coming in, but like Bootstrap of course it's useful to learn. Number one, if you're a full stack dev, JPro, and you're out there working, you're going to use a template most of the time.
Here's the thing: could you do it all in CSS on its own? Yes,
it's take you longer.
Exactly.
And the guy's going to go, can you just build my app? What are you messing around with the animation for that menu?
Exactly. Why are you working the padding on that button and changing the exact shade of like put the Bootstrap class on
There's nothing at all wrong with Bootstrap, and you can make it. This template you're looking at is built in Bootstrap, but it doesn't look like a Bootstrap app.
Right.
I mean, this whole thing is built in Bootstrap. I mean, and to prove it, I'll just show you. Look at this. I mean, the classes are the same. There's a nav bar in this thing. It's all built in Bootstrap, and it looks cool.
Yep.
So I don't think that's in any way, shape, or form looked down upon. Especially too, man. The main thing they're gonna hire you on is these projects and these blogs. And so I see so many templates coming out of boot camps. They don't use like a framework, and their portfolios are ugly, just terrible, ugly. And that's why they're not getting jobs, because people are visual buyers.
So I hope this isn't a bad segue.
Yeah.
Because I have not looked through Beanie's portfolio.
Okay. Yeah.
So
sorry,
so I haven't looked, and it might not be. So we're just gonna go. I literally pulled it up. I scrolled the screen. I'm like, okay, let's take a look at it. So here we go. So here's his portfolio.
Okay, not bad. That's kind of cool.
Yep, I like this. I think this is cool. He's got a few things going on.
He's got his own little brand there, like that. I like that. Yeah, and he says, "Look at that." He said, "I'm a full stack web dev." Exactly.
There you go.
The one thing I would add here, Brian, right away is like if you're a call to action right from this home screen.
Okay.
Is it scrollable or is it like?
It's scrollable. It's single page. It's single page. He has a menu down the side. He has his social media links up here. He has a picture. Super good. I like this little animated heart thing too. It's cool. I've seen this in a few different places, but I think it's cool. I think it's neat. Yeah. So then he has an about section with a GitHub thing in here too, which is cool. Oh, and this is live too.
Contributions. Yeah, it's contributions.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's kind of neat.
So his GitHub contributions are down here a little bit.
I would only put this on there if it was impressive, and his is.
And it is.
Like, I wouldn't worry about it if it wasn't. So
good point. Good point. Yeah, good point. So he says where he currently is in India, some of his interests. Okay, we'll get down to the main projects section.
Yep.
So
it's a little crowded for my taste, but I like the thought of it. It's kind of good.
Okay.
And the cards aren't even on the bottom, so like
I see them like right here.
I would make sure those have 100% height on them.
I'm guessing this is just to do with the number of lines. Look, he's got 2 text lines here and 3 text lines here. That's all it is. And it could be the responsive part. I'm guessing I'm putting this in a window, so this might change it too. And it does look. So it's just the size of the window that I'm running it in.
Yeah. But that's minor. I mean, it's pretty good. I like it.
Yep. So we'll come back up to the projects part in a second.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at what's there. So skills. Okay, this is interesting. You got a lot here.
See, that's my thing. I would I don't know what I would do with that. There's a lot of skills. The question is, what do you want to do? And you're like, I'll do any of this.
Right.
And put it on there.
Right.
So
Yep.
I think it's fine. I like it.
I like the way that it's laid out. It's good. The
Yeah.
bars are cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like it's cool. And the icons are cool. You use the actual icons too. I think that's cool. Yeah, I would change, just from a designer perspective, I would change this one. The background on it's got a gradient on it or whatever. It's not a PNG probably. It's probably a JPEG.
Yeah, I would make sure they're all like.
Let's make sure they're all consistent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a minor thing. Yeah. So then he has an experience section, I guess like a resume style section. I want to link to his resume too, which is cool.
Okay. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So he has some. What does he have in here? Oh, it's volunteer achievements. So I'm guessing, are you not? Oh, you are. Okay. Oh no, you have internship experience.
Though, so he doesn't have too much experience.
Right, but he has internship experience. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay, I see that now. Well, what a competition! Look, September 2019. That's cool. Congratulations. Yeah, and then his academic timeline too. Okay, this is the way. Oh, I like this way of showing your education. It's kind of interesting.
Neat.
Yeah,
I like it. Kind of cool.
Yep. And then at the bottom,
hit me up. Yeah,
the contact form. Yeah, I like it. Oh, that's cool too.
Yeah,
little animation thing down here. I like the style that carries all the way through too. I'm not usually a huge fan of these like background animation things, but this one's subtle that it's good.
Okay,
I can see it in the background. Oh, you can't even see it? Okay.
I see it moving up a little bit on the left hand bar.
It's very subtle. It might not even come through, but it's like a very subtle, like these just glowing things that come up.
The only thing that I would say here, Benyu, is add a CTA in here that says you want to work and give a positive, I'm looking for work, I'm looking for new opportunities type thing. Tell people what you want. And then that way they can, it's called a call to action, so that they'll click on it and contact you and reach out to you.
Okay. So I don't know what your star. Here's a suggestion I would make here too. If you have a standout application here that you want people to click on, either make it first or make it like bigger too. Make it maybe 3 wide or 2 wide. So it's obvious, like, hey, this is my shining star application. These are the ones that just kind of like, they're not as big. And I'm sure some of these aren't. Like link shortener is probably not as big as one of these other ones you have up here. So yeah, think about highlighting one maybe. That would be kind of cool. Let me go. I don't think this is actually gonna take you guys with me, is it? Or is it? Did it?
Live demos, man.
Okay, let me. I need to change this. So it's a weird thing with.
And I do think that's important if these are live demos, that they are live, that people can click on them. And then and we're going to go into the projects that all of this.
Yep.
I don't know what that is. It doesn't say the live portfolio link.
So this is so this is the app. Once I clicked on it, it's in the right place. This is for the site. Okay. Oh, this is cool. So these are links back to things. Oh, it's got a lot of content in here. This is cool. I don't know if this is scraped from somewhere or people have added these in.
So when I have portfolio projects, also give synopsis of what each one does, so people can understand what it's supposed to do when they click on it, when they get to the demo.
This one had a 1-line thing on the previous day. It says community to help web developers by providing them helpful resources and giving experience of open source contributions.
Yeah.
So okay, because you can bookmark stuff in here. Okay, and you can filter stuff out in here too. Right. I'm guessing you can go to these. Okay, that's cool. So it's like a bookmarking site specifically for developers. It's cool. It's definitely well designed. I like the little things that come up here.
Yeah, JPro, I think he's 21 years old. You're asking how old he is. I think he's 21.
Yeah, I think that's what it said on the previous screen. No, this is cool.
It's cool. It's good. I mean, so if yours doesn't look as good as Benyu's, get cracking.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's your portfolio is good.
Watch our killer portfolio video, and that's the minimum sections: projects, coding challenges, skills, and then build up your coding challenges game, build up your project game, and put it all together. Yeah.
Yep. So, should have gone through all your projects to take a look at them. I would say just in general, like first impression, it's good. It looks pro. It's good. It's clean. Yeah. I would say you should be able to get a job with that portfolio.
Yeah, and then
it definitely doesn't put a bad foot forward.
I think you need a CTA or say call to action, how to reach out to me, instead of just waiting till the end.
Yep.
So Raphael has a question here.
Oh, okay. Is it okay to use Gmail, or is it not professional enough?
As long as it's not like Pokemon Star 445.
Yeah, if it's some version of your name at Gmail, or
I think that's fine.
yeah, Raphael Dev or something like that.
Yeah, and then you can also think about getting your own domain, and then you can hook your domain to Gmail, and then it can even look better. But Gmail's fine. I mean,
Yep.
but just have a professional address.
Yes.
That's
Pokemon Chaser at Gmail is not gonna. It's not gonna cut it. That's funny. Okay. Let's see here. Let's round out with one more. Actually, let me do one more thing first. So we have an upcoming. What do we have coming up? We have a Xamarin class coming up.
Yeah, so like if you're out there and you're watching this and you want to go learn mobile for a week, we can do it virtually. We have a very cool Xamarin class. It's called Enterprise Mobile Development, and we're using Xamarin, .NET Core, and Web API, showing you how you hook your backend to your Xamarin, building in Azure notifications, dependency injection, all those kind of things that you would do really on the job. So it is not a Hello World course.
And Antonio's teaching this, right?
Yeah, Antonio's teaching it, so it's really good. But you'll walk out of there with a fully functional cross-platform ticketing system that allows you to geolocate tickets, and as you would if you were a cable repair person. It's a full-blown app that's really cool. So if you're looking at like, hey, I'm working in an enterprise shop and I want to learn how to build mobile apps, and I already know how to code, this class is for you. If you're a brand new to coding, this class isn't for you.
Right. This is not a 101.
You got to self-critique about like what your skill set is. But if you've been doing C# for a minute, or some kind of Java or JavaScript or whatever, and you just want to get into mobile, we'll do this in 5 days. It may be 50 hours in 5 days, but like you're going to spend time with us online. And the way we do virtual is Antonio will be there 8 hours a day, the whole time.
And hey, if you're working somewhere, your company might even pay for it.
They might even pay for it. So it'll come through with the design pattern you need, the techniques that you need to do most common things in any mobile enterprise application.
Yep,
so it's good.
So if you're interested, you can go to codefoundry.com/mobile. All the details are there. This is the week of August 17th. I think August 17th.
Yeah.
17th through the 21st. So it's coming up. It's only a couple weeks away. So
it's only a couple weeks
we
away.
Still have some spaces.
You still
if you are interested.
Spaces. Yeah. All right, cool.
Okay.
Well, we went over again, Kevin.
We did. I'm going to do one. We had a bunch of comments here at the end. I'm going to do one more. I'm just going to pick one out real quick, or a question. That was. I wouldn't put that comment up, but he was asking how old he was. But he's watching the critique. It looks nothing close to this. So yeah, you get some work to do like that. But his portfolio is very good. I will say it's not. It's a good portfolio.
It's a good portfolio. I mean, the project section was a little crowded on the cards. You could put some more gutter in there. I would pay attention to the responsiveness. And when you get to that level, you're starting nitpicking it. But he's got a lot of content. It looks like it's good. Yeah,
definitely. If you want us to take a look at yours too, we'll take a look. We'll let you know what you could do to improve it. But it says, when should I start creating it? Currently my first year of my uni course. You recommend I start soon? Yeah, like yesterday.
Right now. You may get hired to change some emails.
Yeah.
So,
which we've seen.
So like you might can get that sweet side gig that people just want you to change web pages.
Yep.
While you're still going to school, make some nice money on the side.
Yep. Here's one last thing. We'll talk about this. He's telling Jay Pro to give himself credit. At least you have a portfolio built. I still lack the confidence to even deploy mine. Deploy it.
You build it, man. If you built it, deploy it, and get someone to look at it and let you critique it. Make it, and then keep improving it.
Yep. Just put it out there.
All you can do is make it better. So.
Yep. Definitely. Okay, let's wrap this up.
All right, cool. All right, let's go eat lunch.
Yeah. Tomorrow's video, by the way, we won't be live tomorrow. Remember, we're doing Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, so we'll be back on Wednesday live. Tomorrow's video is the demo of the financial portal from a student. So.
Yeah, don't miss that one. You'll watch it as soon as we release it in the morning, and look at what this guy built. It's amazing, and it's really good.
It's cool.
This is
very cool.
Coder Foundry.
It's cool. It's very cool.
All right. See you guys tomorrow. Good luck. Keep coding.